Hi, I've got my lyrics on my phone in case I forget. So, all right, Bismillah. Are you guys good? Good. Bismillah. I'd rather be breathless, seconds away from death than left without the means to mediate my emotions and sing a song for those folk who have been broken.
I look at you and wonder how one person could have become the reason to open my eyes each morning and find the sunlight peeking through.
Packed away from the homes that shattered in my too tight grip, which slipped from my fingers like sand from the beaches I wouldn't take you to.
What is spoken word? So I guess spoken word is a form of poetry. It's a form of poetry that is really embodied. So it's not just on the page. It's something that you actually perform and that you try to embody the words as you're performing it.
Whenever you stand on a stage and say things is spoken word, in my opinion. Anything can fit into that.
Spoken word to me is everything. I live and breathe it. It's everything I do is kind of, I'm thinking about what I'm going to write about.
My name is Tanya Manira Williams.
I'm Taryn Spalding Jenkin, I'm 26.
My name's Aisha Humphreys, I'm 20 years old and I'm from Penzance in Cornwall.
I was born in Bristol. My parents are from Jamaica. I see myself as a British-born Jamaican.
I'm from Cornwall originally, but living in Bristol.
What is my poetry about? You know, what is my work about? It is about my heritage. It's about who I am. And I am a woman. I'm a black woman born in Bristol of Jamaican descent, probably have, links in West Africa, all of these different things. I'm a Muslim, so I'm a woman of faith. Like all of these different things come together to make me who I am. So I can never separate that from my art because my art is part and parcel of who I am. I'm simply expressing myself in an artistic form.
I've been really shy my whole life and I struggle to articulate, so I used to write down everything and that really helped me to express myself to people. When I couldn't talk, I would write things for people. I found that really helpful and that kind of led into me writing stories and doing poetry. I know I need to write something when I've gone through something really sad or traumatic and it builds up and I get to a point where I need to let this out. It's usually when I'm going through a really tough time, but it's really helpful and therapeutic.
Images can be quite an important part of creating. The sea is always something that's in my head when I'm writing, and storms and things like that. It has a huge impact on the vocabulary I use, the imagery I try and use, and just everything that I use when I write.
When I know I need to write something is generally when I feel hurt, right? The times when there's this urge inside of me, there's something inside of me pushing me to write. So I think my writing is a response to the things that are happening in the world. I can go somewhere and I don't need to have credentials to my name. I could get up on an open mic and I could perform.
Performing is so anxiety provoking for me and it's something I never thought I'd be able to do. But it's like a good anxiety and there's so much adrenaline before and then afterwards I just feel this massive relief and release and it feels really good. And to have people come up to me afterwards and say this really meant something to me is just so incredible.
This is my dad. My dad is a person who struggles with emotion, and that's something that's been passed on to me. And one of the things I try and deal with my poetry is that kind of thing, is saying things that wouldn't normally be able to say directly face to face to someone. That is one of those people.
The women of my family are graceful, insightful, wise, sensitive, independent, interdependent, and dependable. Depending on what's called for at any given time, they are giving, supportive, and compassionate The women of my family. Okay, so in thinking about that poem, I get emotional thinking about it. Don't worry, I'm not gonna cry, but like I do definitely get emotional thinking about that particular poem. I wrote it because it was the birthday of the oldest member of my family. We call her Sister Mama. And I just thought to myself, look at everything that she's probably experienced. Not having wealth, not having like, generational wealth, coming to England and making something of herself. I thought, wow, the women of my family contain all of the heroes that I'm looking for. All of the heroes that I'm looking for outside. Actually, that's in my bloodline. I just thought, they're really powerful. I need to write about this.
I cannot kiss myself goodnight. I've never really known how to be a whole person all on my own. But that's why I have to start leaving you before it's time to start grieving you.
So my poem Bad Habit is about an ending of a relationship with someone that meant the world to me and still does. I think it also touches on how when you're in a relationship and you've got quite severe mental health problems like I do, that person can become like a crutch to you, and that can turn really unhealthy, and you can depend on that for so long, but that person might not always be there, and you need to learn how to do that yourself.
I dread the day he tells me, or the doctors do. I'm not ready for him to leave the room again.
The Entomologist is a poem I wrote about my dad. When I wrote that poem, I was worried about losing my dad without him knowing how I felt about him. My relationship with my dad has always been not rocky, like we've never really like fought or anything like that, but maybe cold. My main impetus for writing it is he's getting older. I am worried about things like Alzheimer's. Both his parents had Alzheimer's and ultimately died of the disease, and it's something I worry about, that he will also succumb to that, and potentially in the future I will as well. So it's a poem dealing with that emotion, the emotions arising from that, the worries, the fears that one day he will be gone. I don't
Sometimes I have a thought and I'm trying to like express it or give life to it. And when I don't, I feel almost heartbroken. It feels like something is crushing me because I don't have the words to articulate this. But I think I spend a lot of my time trying to express the thoughts that go on in my heart, trying to express the thoughts that go on in my head. And I feel like having words and having language to express that is like a gift. A few things, but two things going back to my childhood, which left me in a state of depression from the age of like really oppressing or suppressing things from the age of 7, but like depression and once realizing it from the age of 13, right? And like I was talking about this to my friend today, and she was like, look where you are, look where you've come, like the things that I went through, probably 1,000 more people have been through it as well. Millions of people, in fact, every day, but like it's the type of thing that can leave you traumatized. And I think what spoken word has done for me has allowed me to get from a point of victim to victor.
She is not a has-been, and she never has been. It's just that when it comes to our culture, we have been had. Thank you.
Awesome.
Spoken word has helped me in innumerable ways.
Performing has like made my confidence so much better.
It's like a really vulnerable process, but then the end is like I feel healed.
It feels fantastic, to be honest. it feels like I'm finally saying something that I need to say. It's a release.
I just met so many cool people that I related to, and it's just helped me so much, more than anything else ever has.
Spoken word, like this art form, has given me the ability to own my body and to feel like a queen inside of my body. It heals me every day, and it's made me realize that all of my experiences are for something. And so I think spoken word has given me ownership of me.